Good morning guys from Portsmouth, Portsmouth Harbour, where this morning I'm taking the Hovercraft, believe it or not, over to the Isle of Wight, and it's by a company called Hovertravel, and they claim this is the only year-round passenger service hovercraft in the world. I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to this because I have never been on a hovercraft before, and it just so happens I've got somebody with me today who used to work for Hovertravel, and my good mate Jimmy. And I tell you what, Jimmy, what do you reckon is the biggest advantage of hover travel, I guess you could call it, hovercraft travel?
It's got to be the speed. The speed from here to the Isle of Wight is 10 minutes from one end to the other, so really good for anyone that just wants to go for the day. It means they're not spending all day travelling, and anyone who commutes between either here to there or the other way around is great. Beginning and the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is be sat travelling for hours at a time. Yeah. So it definitely beats the car ferry, which takes almost an hour.
I was going to say, how long does the car ferry take? Price wise, it's you may pay a little bit more for the hovercraft, but I suppose in terms of travel and traffic, it's a passenger only thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
really? That's the other thing. But it's going to be pretty amazing. I think it's a fairly low tide today, so I believe that it can travel for up to a mile over the sands on the other side, on the Isle of Wight. So I tell you what, let's go and have a look. We're at the bus station now because I don't know if anybody's aware of this, but Hovertravel actually provide a Hoverbus. It's actually on wheels. It doesn't hover to the hovercraft place or whatever you call it. I don't know what you call the hovercraft place. Is it a station or a ramp or hoverport? Thank you. This is why I brought him along today. Right, okay guys, so let's go and have a look at the bus, and come with me for the ride and we will see how we get on. I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, so here comes the bus arriving at Stand L, which is just outside the bus station on the road. It's covered in Hovertravel logos, as you can see here, but it's actually operated by Stagecoach. Sing up to the hoverport, please, mate. Thank you very much. There we are. Thank you very much. Cheers. Now the cost for the one-way ticket to the hoverport at the time of this video was £2. The bus is designed to connect with both the arrival and departure of the hovercraft, and it takes about 12 minutes going via Portsmouth city centre to pick up more passengers on the way. Right, so we are here at the Hovertravel Hoverport. So I remember that. So we're going to go in and pay the money and get on board, I think.
No, we're buying one.
So anyone with pre-booked tickets should go straight through to the boarding gate, I guess you could call it. We hadn't bothered, so just went to the desk where the friendly staff took our money. £26.30 for a standard adult single. Worth noting that if you book online, as we should have done, it's only £23. There were a few snacks and souvenirs here at the ticket office, and entertainment was provided by a woman standing outside feeding some birds out of her hand.
Look at the lady! Look at the lady! The bird! Oh my god! Oh yeah! It's a bird, lady! Yeah! That's amazing! Oh.
Here just needs some bread. Did you think that was amazing? Really? Well, if you did or didn't, please leave me a comment in the comments below. Right, cheers, thank you. Other facilities at the hoverport, well, there wasn't much, to be honest. A Costa Express, which is basically a machine, isn't it? I mean, Costa get everywhere these days, and I'm the world's worst really, but I'm not that bothered about using a machine, to be honest. Anyway, it wasn't long before we were called through to board. Access to the ramp was through gate 1 of 1, and I was really quite excited at this point. It really felt like you were walking across the tarmac at an airport rather than a sea-going vessel. On the other side. Boarding was through 2 doors at the front, and seating was arranged in a 2-4-2 configuration, as you can see here. Quite busy. I was worried, to be honest, that I might not get a window seat, but as it turned out, we got the very last ones on the right-hand side facing forward. Jimmy very kindly let me sit on the right so I could film the trip. God, I am so excited now. We're just sitting on the, what do you call it, a ramp? Ramp. We're sitting on a ramp, and the doors are open at the front. You walk on through the front there, as you probably saw, and yeah, assuming the doors will close in it and some noise will start, just like inflate ourselves and float on off into the sea. I'm not sure that's the technical terminology, but see what happens, I suppose. And we managed to get a window seat just about. We should be able to take some good shots on the way over. Yeah, so the doors were closed, there was a noise outside, and the underneath bit, which I believe is called a skirt, very rapidly inflated. Hovertravel then played a safety video, again like an aircraft, isn't it? And we started to float on a cushion of air. And then before we knew it, we were on the water. Now, I must admit, I wasn't paying too much attention to the safety briefing. I knew one of the emergency exits was behind me, and that was about it. I tell you what though, it was moving pretty fast. Now, this hovercraft, the Island Flyer, is one of a pair of 12,000 TD models produced by sister company Griffon Hoverwork. The other one's called Solent Flyer, by the way, and we'll see that one in a minute. Powered by 2 rear-facing propellers, it's capable of speeds of up to 40 knots, 46 miles an hour, and is flown by the pilot. Yes, believe it or not, they are called pilots. And they sit above the passenger deck in a centrally positioned wheelhouse. Seating for 78 passengers on one of these crafts, and they hover about 1.5 meters above the surface. I'll tell you what, this is like such a unique experience, I think, to actually do this. Just not get the opportunity anywhere else in the world. And we're not too far away from the Isle of Wight now, so I'm assuming when it gets near to the hoverport on the Isle of Wight, it's just going to shoot across the sands for a bit. Let's watch it and see what happens. Founded in 1965, Hovertravel are actually the world's oldest hovercraft operator, and like I said before, they claim that this service between Southsea and Ryde is the world's only commercial passenger hovercraft service. And it takes approximately 10 minutes to get from one side to the other, and at the time of this video they were running 2 flights an hour each way. There were a few boats out in the Solent today, including one of the conventional ferries from Fishbourne on the Isle of Wight coming the other way. Now, I found it all quite smooth, really. I mean, it did bounce around a little bit at the start, but the sea overall was pretty calm, so that's got to have something to do with it, hasn't it? I'm not sure how rough it needs to be before they have to suspend the service, but yeah, if you've any idea, please let me know. Before I knew it, Ryde Pier had come into view, and we were heading towards the beach. There wasn't as much beach as I thought, and because we were floating on this cushion of air, you couldn't really tell the difference as we made the transition from sea to land. Oh, and here's the Solent flyer I was telling you about earlier.
We are approaching Ryde, and with us, your safety and the safety of others, if you please remain seated until the for those who are currently carrying your bags, you will find the train and bus terminal to shop all the taxi, and the taxi rank just outside. Good morning.
We soon deflated, if that's the right word, and the front doors opened. Again, I'm not really sure the technical term for any of this, but yeah, I really enjoyed it, and that's what counts, isn't it? And I just couldn't stop smiling as I made my way off the vessel. And it's quite smart, the hoverport here on Ryde, and all you do after disembarking is you just go through a gate in front of you, and yeah, you're out into the town, where a footbridge over the railway will take you to the bus station or the railway station for your onward travel onto the island. And the aforementioned bridge provides a great vantage point for watching the hovercraft arrive and depart. I had to do that, didn't I? But before it went back across the Solent to Southsea, I just took a minute to sum up the journey. Right then guys, Isle of Wight just come over here on the island flyer. I'll tell you what, it did fly as well. About 10 minutes from Portsmouth over to here on the hovercraft. And what a unique experience that was as well. Absolutely amazing. I've loved every minute of it. Right, I'm here now to explore a bit of the island, so thank you for joining me on this adventure. Plenty more adventures to come, and until the next video guys, cheers for now.